Well, hello there. My name is HW.
Hey, I'm the Sooze.
And Sooze, it's still going.
It really is.
And it sounds beautiful.
It's half a minute, yeah.
Half a minute of Sooze verb. Well, this is the ambient reverb performance. And we've called it Soundscapes.
Yes.
And the good people can download it down there. Mm-hmm. And now we'll tell you what's in it.
Yeah, that's right.
So, Sooze, we did a video called Ambient Reverb for Kemper, and the Sooze verb was the preset in there, and people really dug that. And so I said, hey, Sooze, why don't you throw together like a performance of a bunch of those things?
Yeah, sure.
Because some people were saying, can you do some an ambient music performance? And I was like, some people get mad at us. They say everything's ambient that we do.
Right. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So,
Not enough rock.
But I guess some people want some more ambient stuff. So you've got a lot of stuff in this performance going on here. Mm-hmm. Take us through this.
Okay.
So this was the Sooze verb. It's in Rig 5.
Yeah, so this Rig 5 was just like it was before when they downloaded it. Mm-hmm. As a note, all the buttons 1 through 5 have these assigned. So this is the green screen soft shaper tremolo, and then if you ever want that delay on or off, it's just always there.
Oh, cool.
They could kill it and just have verbs. So the Sooze verb is the combination of what I call the cloud, which is just a normal, hits kind of right away and lasts 30 seconds.
Sure.
And then the bloom is the one that hits a lot later, so
right, it swells up, sort of blooms.
Yeah, it ramps in after you play it. So I separated those on 3 and 4. So 5 has both of them on. Okay. And then you can kind of see here, 3 is just that one, and then 4 just jumps over to that one.
Yeah.
So it's a quick way to toggle back and forth. And then if you want both of them, just jump to 5.
Well, let's hear those.
Yeah.
So here's the cloud by itself. This is the long, big verb. It's present. It's there. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you have the pre-delay at a level where we can hear sort of the guitar go, and then it comes in. Here is the bloom, and this is gonna you're really gonna hear the guitar present, and then it's gonna swell sort of up behind it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I might throw some trim on that kind of a sound just to have that first initial hit, have that.
That is the type of verb that I think you have to. It has to. It shapes the music.
Yeah, totally.
You're not going to be able to have quick changes and have that going on, right? Uh-huh. Whereas the cloud, it might be a little easier to have changes going. It still can't be fairly quick, but
totally.
But the cloud, You
kind of have to make sure that every note you play could also go over the next chord. So if it lasts too long, you might get in trouble, that kind of thing. But right. For sure.
And then both of them together, like you showed us, but now we can just hear it together again.
They're buddies. They work together.
They're buddies. It's really a lesson in how to stack reverbs too. Sort of that one right up front, and then one that's really responsible for. I mean, they both have tremendous length. Mm-hmm. There's a good amount of length on both of them, but one is really. You can hear the separation, the swell of the bloom really comes up, and it makes it take on just an enormous sound. Yeah. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just huge. What do you got going on in these other two?
Okay, so the 1 and 2 slots, I played around with other types of morphing. So that's what that M is for, just to tell you. So the M verb is going to morph from a pretty low by comparison, length and mix.
Okay.
And then you're going to morph to something that is more like the Cloud over here, but still less.
Okay, let's hear that.
Perfect timing.
even just putting it up at the end gives you
Yeah.
this long trail, almost like
Yeah.
a ducking kind of thing.
Yeah, this is how I approach a lot of my performances that we've made.
Yeah.
And that's, kind of a lower version on the bottom for most of the playing.
Yeah.
And then click it if you want it just to go longer, sort of like the Big Sky, like hold, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It just approximates that by just morphing to longer and louder.
Yeah, it's a really logical sort of way to set up the Kemper 2 with these two states that you can have
low
all
and
these
high, yeah.
rigs in. This one is the same thing, but with a lot more delay.
This is, so basically this morphs the delay, volume, and feedback instead of the reverb
I
volume
see.
and feedback.
Right,
So it's
right.
the delay version of one. And this is really cool to play kind of within the beat that you set up or the rhythm that you set up. Once it ramps or once it morphs up to the high setting, it's really cool just to build and build and build. So
Very cool.
I'll show you that.
Let's hear that.
So this is more delay ambience than it is.
Yeah, what's
reverb
really cool
ambience.
is it's sort of doing the same thing that Bloom verb is doing in the sense of it's getting bigger later because you're
Yeah.
waiting for those repeats. But you can hear in this one the sort of oscillation that's happening.
Yeah.
You can hear it repeating, whereas the Bloom you're hearing more of a swell of just almost like a pad coming up. You know what I mean? It's more verby. Right? Whereas this one, you hear the oscillation of the delay kind of building and getting up.
Yeah.
It's a really cool way to get, it's sort of the same, to me it has the same purpose as the Bloom.
Yeah.
Sort of come in after.
And for people that like to morph, like, I would just encourage them to jump in here. You can see like the morph goes, from whatever it was on mix, what is it?
Look, it's ramping down.
Okay.
65.
65 to 100%,
Yeah.
so it's just getting
Yeah.
as loud. But even I put some reverse in there as well. So this 50% reverse. The feedback, goes from 51.
It goes from 51 up to 90.
So if it's at 95 or something, it will start tipping over into like self-oscillation.
Yeah.
So that's kind of we call the edge of breakup for distortion. It's like the edge
Right,
of
right.
oscillation.
Yeah. The edge of runaway.
Yeah. So a little bit of that reverse kind of gives it a swarminess, and then the feedback is just about to tip over, but it doesn't, and so you can play over it.
It even gives the feeling of you begin to play behind this thing that you've built.
Yeah.
The sound gets larger than your guitar, and even some of the things you were throwing in, you could hear it sort of poking out under there and then being added to this it sounds like a delay snowball going. And at some point it's larger than you.
Oh, totally.
You know?
And it's a little bit like looping in that sense too, where you can start building up layers, and they aren't really going to die out because the feedback's so long.
Yeah.
And so you can make these intricate chords like down here and up top, and it's just like this.
Right.
This big thing. So
This really big thing.
yeah.
Dude, that is really cool.
Yeah, I love it.
It's really cool.
This is something I could lose like an hour of my life just looping on.
Right. Just playing this.
Yeah. That's fun. And you've got drives here too, in case you're playing in a band or something and it's ambient and you're doing your thing.
Yeah.
You can, that dirty, distorted, reverby kind of thing is really cool too.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, where can they get this?
I think it's down there.
It's down there on YouTube. It's up there on Facebook.
Okay.
On IGTV, they can go to our whatever.
Free download.
It's free. Yeah, check this out. This is really cool, and this is the deluxe reverb profile that's been on kind of a base for most of the things we've done. It sounds great. Why don't you play us out,
Thanks,
Sooze? I'm really a fan of to me this runaway thing is the coolest thing. So I'm gonna let you play us out on this M delay, and I love the way it ramps up, and you can hear it ramping up slowly, you know?
Yeah.
And you can see it going back and forth on the Kemper. All right, I'm gonna let you play us out. I've been HW.
The Sooze.
Let's do it.
Awesome.